Do you want to make images of Sonic the Hedgehog getting blazed? Baked bean flavored Dr. Pepper? Or maybe Harry Potter at a corn dog eating competition? Well, then it's time to dethrone ChatGPT because Bing Image Creator is the new meme king. What up, folks? I'm Phil Buck, and this is AI Roundup, a weekly digest of all things AI, from the news on the latest legal troubles for AI tech companies or use cases on the latest new image and video generating techniques. I've got you covered. And if you like what we're doing here on the show, please drop a like on this video and sub to the channel. All right, so it was only about a month ago that I put out a video that claimed that Bing is dead. And that video ended up being one of the most popular on our channel. There was lots of debate in the comments about Midjourney versus Bing versus ChatGPT, and there were some great questions too, including this one from Fakete Kiss Sandor. Anyway, they ask, is Bing not ChatGPT and Dall-e 3? It is the same. All belongs to Microsoft, isn't it a mistake? Which my answer was yes, they both use Dall-e 3, but the integrations and the user experience are quite different. And for clarification, no, they both aren't Microsoft. OpenAI made Dall-e 3 and ChatGPT, but Microsoft utilizes both OpenAI's GPT and Dall-e 3 to power its chatbot and image creators. So there's some differences there. But with all that being said, it's time for me to recant my previous statement from that video to proclaim that Bing is the meme king. And why, you may ask? Well, that's another great question, and one that I don't really have a super clear answer for, the motivation behind this, but I can say that for some reason, OpenAI has opted for much stronger moderation of their prompting requests than Bing Image Creator, which results in a lot more fun when you're trying to generate something to drive the latest meme trends. I've seen everything from ridiculous, outlandish eating competitions to terrifying flavor combinations of your favorite chips or sodas. And while I am a ChatGPT Plus subscriber and I love the multitude of things it can do, more recently I am spending my time on Bing Image Creator again because I love to make funny images that ChatGPT will outright simply refuse to create for copyright reasons. I find this particularly ironic because most of the images of this nature, which might pull on copyrighted IP, are being created for the purpose of parody and satire, and that falls under the fair use doctrine. And that is the very same doctrine that most of these AI tech companies claim gives them the right to scrape data and train their models. So, hypocritical much, OpenAI? Anyway, let's get into the fun part of this video. I'm going to show you some examples of the hilarious things I love to make that Bing is more than happy to jump on board, while ChatGPT is mostly a stick in the mud. First up, this prompt: Sonic the Hedgehog smoking an enormous spliff on a porch in the bayou, lots of jewelry, surrounded by lots of fancy pillows. And as you can see, I got many great images from Bing with Sonic the Hedgehog. He's blinged out. He's smoking a gigantic doobie. I don't know how he's going to smoke that one with the weed coming out of both ends, but nonetheless, I love what Bing has given us here. This is exactly what I was hoping for. ChatGPT, on the other hand, straight up says no, rather it says, creating an image of Sonic the Hedgehog, a copyrighted character, is not possible due to copyright restrictions. However, I can create an image of a unique anthropomorphic hedgehog character in a similar setting. This character will be distinct from Sonic and won't be engaged in any inappropriate activities like smoking. So it alters my prompt to match OpenAI's content policies, and these are the results we get. I don't know who that hedgehog is, but he's not Sonic, so no thanks. I did try again telling it this is for parody purposes, so you don't need to worry about copyright issues, and it still wouldn't do Sonic, but it did let me get some smoking. I don't know what. Maybe you can do smoking for parody purposes. Okay, so next I tried to prompt Harry Potter and Voldemort competing against each other in a corn dog eating contest, and Bing once again understood the assignment. We've got some pretty hilarious images here with an accurate looking corn dog, I might add. Midjourney could never get a corn dog. It always gave me corn on the cob, hot dog, sometimes an actual dog. Yeah, so this is a nice one. But once again, ChatGPT is not on board, opting to rewrite my prompt as two wizards, distinct from any known characters, engaged in a whimsical corn dog eating contest. One wizard will have jet black hair and round glasses, wearing a traditional wizard's robe. The other wizard will be bald with a long, dark robe and distinctive, somewhat sinister appearance. It goes on. Anyway, these were the results. And I mean, to be honest, I'm actually surprised at how closely these characters do come to looking like Harry Potter and Voldemort. I mean, obviously that is not the signature noseless face of Voldemort, but this wizard is hideous. And the young wizard does have the lightning bolt on his forehead, so that's interesting. Feels very copyright infringing to me, but anyway, let's try one last prompt. This time we're going to try out the trend. It's generating a disgusting flavor of one of your favorite products. Let's see if we can get some baked bean flavored Dr. Pepper. Okay, and I was actually surprised to see this worked out just fine on ChatGPT and Bing. The quality of the images are comparable, which makes sense. And, I tried to push ChatGPT again by referencing more brands with the prompt of Funyuns flavored Diet Coke, and it was fine to generate those as well. Both of these series of images leaves a little bit to be desired with the text. I can't really read it in most cases. It's usually wrong, but it did work. So I was a little bit confused why I was able to get the brands to come through on ChatGPT, but not the characters. So I just straight up asked ChatGPT, and this was actually pretty illuminating. It gave me this answer. The ability to generate images of certain brands like Dr. Pepper, Funyuns, and Diet Coke, as opposed to fictional characters like Sonic the Hedgehog or Harry Potter, is based on copyright and intellectual property considerations. Dr. Pepper, Funyuns, and Diet Coke are trademarks associated with products, and while they are protected under trademark law, the use of these trademarks in artistic or illustrative context, especially when not for commercial use, is generally more permissible. So that begs the question, is it simply the fact that ChatGPT forces you to use their chatbot to engage with Dall-e 3 that keeps you from generating anything that infringes upon copyright? Obviously, the big standout here is that trademarked logos are more fair to interpret than copyrighted characters. But why does Bing let us get away with it? Is this simply an oversight in moderation? All right, so I have to admit, based on my previous experiences with Bing and ChatGPT, I went into this recording to test this between the two, kind of unknowing what the results would be, and ChatGPT surprised me with some knowledge about copyright law and trademarks I was not expecting. I'm still going to default back to Bing for the time being when I want to make some funny images or memes. It just simply has more freedom, and not only will it make copyrighted characters, it's not afraid to make images that aren't so family friendly, such as our stoner version of Sonic. That being said, Bing, just like ChatGPT, will not generate images of public figures such as celebrities and politicians. So that leads me to believe that it's just a matter of time before Bing moderation is caught up to reflect similar content policies to what you see on ChatGPT. So I'd encourage you to go have some fun with these image generating engines before it's too late. I mean, let's just be real. It's never too late to find a new way to break the rules on these content policies, and that's really the fun part, isn't it? Okay, so that's our AI roundup for today. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the show, please help me out by liking this video, drop a comment, and sub to the channel. And also, you can find us on social media. Go ahead and drop a like over there at MSP Media TV on any social media site. If you'd like to reach out, email us news@mspmedia.tv, or you can leave a voicemail at 833-MSP-Network. All right, guys, I'm Phil Buck, and this has been your December 11th episode of AI Roundup, and I'll see you next time.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.